Sure, let me check the digicode. Digicode is 752-415.
Okay, great. And could you please tell me if there are some nice spots, around this Airbnb?
Sure, let me check if there are nice spots around your place. Yeah, there are some nice spots around. You have the Bean, a cozy coffee shop with great ambience. And there is...
Guys, I built an AI for property management. An AI voice bot which allows property managers to have a receptionist that works 24/7 and that will answer all the questions the guests might have about each of the properties. First, I will show you the full demo of what it looks like. Then I will show you how to build it yourself using RetellAI and Make.com. And then I will tell you guys what I will do if I had to build a full version for a client. But first, in case you're new to this channel, I'm Smail Alaoui, an AI engineer and entrepreneur. I have been deep in the AI world since 2017, building complex AI systems and publishing scientific papers. A few months ago, I founded NeuraFirst, an AI agency where we help businesses integrate AI into their processes. Without further ado guys, let me show you the full demo of the tool that I built.
Hey there, this is your AI Airbnb host. How can I help you?
Hey there, can you please tell me what's the digicode?
Sure, I can help you with that. But first, could you please provide me with the 6-digit ID of the property you're inquiring about?
Yeah, sure, it's 258147.
Sure, let me check the digicode. Digicode is 752-415.
Okay, great. And could you please tell me if there are some nice spots, around this Airbnb?
Sure, let me check if there are nice spots around your place. Yeah, there are some nice spots around. You have the Bean, a cozy coffee shop with great ambience. And there is the Trattoria Toscana, authentic Italian cuisine just around the corner. And finally, you have AMC Empire 25 for movie enthusiasts.
Okay, great. This sounds like some nice spots. And before I forget, what's the checkout process like?
Sure, please let me get the checkout process of your place. The checkout process is the following. Please ensure all dishes are washed and put away. Take out the trash and recyclables. Leave the keys on the kitchen counter.
Okay, I see. And actually, I like this Airbnb. Is there a way for me to stay longer than scheduled?
I'm not sure about that. Let me check, please. No, this property is only available for short-term rentals.
Okay, great. Okay, well, too bad. Well, thank you very much anyway. And yeah, I will call you back if I have anything else that I want to ask you.
No worries, happy to help. Just give me a shout if you have anything else you'd like to know. Have a great day.
Thank you, bye-bye. So you guys can see that it went super well. It was able, to retrieve the information, and yeah, the latency is quite good. The only problem is with the digicode, it was a bit too fast, but with my prompt, I was able sometimes to make it repeat the digicode, but each character, like with a small pause between each, digit. So yeah, it's very good in my opinion. If you like that, don't worry, because not only I will show you how to build it, but also my code is available for free in my resource page. You can access it now through the link in the description. Well, the very first thing that you want to do is to create a Google Sheet. So you will have those columns. So first column ID, then address, then where do we get the key from, what's the Wi-Fi password, are there nice spots to hang out near your place, and the two last columns are what's the checkout process, and do you only rent this place short term, or can I rent it out for 6 months? Of course, those columns don't have to have exactly that same wording, but it's just for you to know what's up about each column. However, the important thing is that here we want to have this ID, which will help us, identify each property, and will help also the AI voice bot basically choose the right information, like select the right row. and we want this ID to have numbers and to have actually 6 numbers. The second thing that you want to do is to go to your make.com scenarios and to create a new scenario. The first module that we need is the webhook, because we'll be sending data from our RetellAI server to make.com, and to receive data from Retell we need a webhook. So you will just click here, then webhooks, then custom webhook. Then we click on add. I called it RetellAI property management tutorial. Then you click save. Then for this webhook to know exactly the data that it should receive, we should trigger it, which means the next step would be to actually make our RetellAI work and send data to that webhook. So when you will download my code, this is what it should look like. So this is the server.py file, but now we are interested into this file, llm with func calling 2.py. Here is the prompt that I wrote. It's pretty long, feel free to read it, of course you can always ask me a question about it in the comments. But we are mostly interested into 3 parts into this file. The first one is about the function called prepare functions, because actually our LLM will make some function calling. And the function calling simply means we are trying to execute code while the call with the AI bot is going. Here we are preparing 5 functions. And why do we have to prepare 5 functions? Because here there are 5 columns where we want to retrieve data from. So we have the column about the digicode, the one about the Wi-Fi password, about the nice spots, the checkout process, and the rental terms. So I define those functions as the following. So get digicode, get Wi-Fi password, the one about nice spots, the checkout process, and finally get rental terms. For each function we specify that we want the ID as a required parameter. So why do we need an ID? Because here again we need an ID that will basically identify a specific property, because we don't want to access information about all properties. We want to access information about a specific Airbnb property. So here we assume that the guests will have access to this property ID right before they check in. And here is the definition of the actual functions that will be called. So you can see all of them here. And this is the specific line of code that makes the link between RetellAI and make.com. So here you should replace all those URLs that you see, those make.com endpoints, by your webhook endpoint. And here you will see that for every single function, actually the function is almost the same. The only difference is the column. So we can see here that for the digicode, we are trying to look for information in column C, because in our Google Sheets, the digicode is contained in that column. And the data that is actually sent to make.com is the property ID and the column. Because in order to access a specific information from that Google Sheet, we need a specific column and a specific row. And the third important part in this file is the following one, where here if the LLM detects that it should call a function, this is how actually we manage how the AI bot should behave. So for example, if I want to check the digicode, first of all the AI will say, sure, let me check the digicode. Then it will actually execute the code, to retrieve it from the Google Sheet. And then here, through this chunk of code, it will actually say it. And the same logic applies to all the rest of the functions. One important thing that I didn't mention is that here in the prompt, we are actually instructing the LLM to request for a property ID from the guests. So the LLM will have the right information to go fetch the right data. So now to finish our make.com scenario, we should actually make a small test, and make the AI call a function, for example, get digicode, so that the data will be sent to make.com, and here the data will be received, and then we'll be able to add new modules so that we will use that data. So now you should run the automation and then make the call. Hey, I would like to know what's the digicode.
Sure thing. Could you let me know the 6 6-digit ID of the property you're inquiring about?
Yeah, sure, it's 258147.
Sure, let me check the digicode. Accepted.
Okay, now the answer from the bot was accepted. It's actually normal because what the webhook, returns by default is something, it's a text which is accepted, right? So now we will complete the make.com scenario. So you can actually see that the data that was sent was the property ID and the colon. What we need next is a Google Sheets module, and more specifically, the search rows. So you click on search rows here. Here, of course, you connect with your Google Sheets account. My file is called Airbnb properties. Here you specify the sheet name. By default, it is sheet 1. Here our Google Sheet contains header, so you should keep this as yes. And the most important part of this module is this part here. So we want to get the row that contains a specific property ID. So here we should select here the ID, which equals to, and then here the property ID that is received by the webhook. Here we only want one row, so we should put 1, and then you click on OK. Then what we said previously is that we are looking for data about a single cell. So we should actually reuse Google Sheets. However, now this time we should use the function getACell, which is this one. Make sure to select the same Google Sheet and the same sheet name as well. Then here the way we select a cell in Google Sheet is first colon letter, then row number. So here the colon letter, we already have it because we received it through the webhook, which is this one, colon C. And the row number is the one which is the output from this module here. So you should select here row number. And then you click on OK. So now after this module, we will have the actual digicode, from the Google Sheet. But now there is an issue. We need to send back that digicode to the RetellAI server so that the bot will know what to say, right? The bot needs to say, hey, the digicode is 258 and so on. So we actually need to use another make.com module, which is called the webhook response. So you click on webhooks here, and then you click on webhook response. And then here in this module, for the body, it will just be, the value from the getACell module. And then we click OK. So actually the last thing that you need to know is that this automation will happen multiple times during a call. Because during a call, the guest will ask, hey, what's my digicode? Or hey, what's the checkout process? What are some nice spots around, this place? So we need to make sure that this automation keeps running continuously. And to do that, first you will check this button here. You will make sure that your scenario is saved. And here you will make sure that your scenario is actually active. So now let's make a quick test to make sure that everything is working fine. Hello?
Hey, can you please provide me with the 6-digit ID of the property you're inquiring about?
Yeah, sure. It's 321958.
Sure, let me check the digicode.
Okay.
The digicode is 987654.
Okay, great. And what's the checkout process?
Sure, please let me get the checkout process of your place. Checkout process is the following. Double check all drawers and closets for personal belongings. Lock all windows and doors securely. Leave the keys in the designated key box by the entrance.
So you can see that it's working just fine. Now if I had to build it for a real client, well, first of all, I would not rely on make.com because for me, it's not necessary. Actually, before creating the Make version, I created one with Python code just because it was easier for me. Also, I would add some extra features for very specific cases. For example, for the Wi-Fi password, the funny thing is that if it contains a question mark, this would happen.
Do for you today.
Hey there, can you please tell me what's the Wi-Fi password?
Sure, I can help with that. First, could you please provide me with the 6-digit property ID?
Yeah, sure. It's 258147.
Sure, let me get the password. The password is JPM79ABN.
Yes, the AI would pronounce it as a question. So I would add the option to send the Wi-Fi password via SMS. Concerning the data storage, I would not rely on Google Sheets, but choose a Firebase or MySQL database for performance and minimizing that latency. I would also probably use a different LLM than the one I'm currently using to see which one is the best in terms of function calling, latency, and avoiding hallucinations. Finally, I think this bot has a great potential to offer a next-level exclusive Airbnb experience if that Airbnb has a complete smart home installation. Imagine your guests were going out for a hike, and 15 minutes before they arrive at the Airbnb, they call the AI bot, tell it to start the hot tub at a specific temperature, play a nice jazzy music in the background, not too loud, and turn on dimmed lights in the bedroom. Now that's next level Airbnb automation. Well, that was it guys for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. If you want more content like this, give it a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. As I've told you before, my code is available in my resource page so that you can see it too. And if you're a business owner and you're looking to build a custom solution like the one that you saw, or even something completely different, feel free to book a meeting with me through the Calendly link in the description. Cheers guys!